Michael Jordan playing on heart and spirit. The missed free throw here. Everybody's standing there.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most iconic and unforgettable moments in professional sporting history.
9.58! Smashing the world record! Unbelievable!
Number 20, the Boston Red Sox win the 2004 World Series.
Do you believe in this? The curse of the Bambino?
Hey, seriously, that's not funny. That's enough of that.
Some people literally waited their whole lives to watch the Red Sox win the World Series, and some people tragically went their whole lives without seeing it, even if they lived into their 80s. Before 2004, the Red Sox last won the series in 1918, a historic drought that is often attributed to the so-called curse of the Bambino, which began after Babe Ruth was sold to the New York Yankees in 1919. But sweeping the St. Louis Cardinals sealed the triumph and erased nearly a century of heartbreak for Boston fans. For many, it wasn't just a victory, it was a cultural moment that resonated far beyond baseball, symbolizing resilience, redemption, and the breaking of what some people referred to as a generational curse.
Back to Folk. Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Number 19, Borg versus McEnroe.
The 1980 Wimbledon men's singles final showcased a contrasting matchup of styles and personalities as the ice-cool Swede Bjorn Borg faced the volatile New Yorker John McEnroe.
Those in attendance at the 1980 Wimbledon final witnessed what many considered to be the greatest tennis match ever played. Bjorn Borg, the stoic Iceman, was seeking his 5th straight Wimbledon title, while John McEnroe, the fiery young American, was challenging the establishment. Their contrast in temperament made the match compelling and thematic before it even began. But on court, the level of play was simply extraordinary, highlighted by the legendary 4th set tiebreak, which many consider the most nail-biting tennis of all time. Borg ultimately emerged victorious after nearly 4 hours, embodying his insane endurance and mental resilience. It not only cemented both players' legacies, but also elevated tennis's profile on the global stage, becoming a cultural touchstone for the sport's golden era.
The 1980 men's singles final was an amazing spectacle, which concluded with Bjorn Borg underlining his greatness by securing his 5th consecutive Wimbledon crown, to leave John McEnroe in the depths of despair.
Number 18, Michael Schumacher wins his 6th title.
Likewise, if Michael Schumacher wins his record 6th title, no exaggeration to say, it'll be the greatest achievement in the history of Formula One.
Before Michael Schumacher and his bright red Ferrari burst onto the scene, the F1 history books were dominated by Juan Manuel Fangio. The Argentine driver won 5 world titles, a record that was long considered untouchable. In fact, the record held for nearly 50 years. Unlike his more dominant seasons, Schumacher's 2003 campaign demanded resilience, precision, and consistency, as he was hounded by the likes of Kimi Räikkönen and Juan Pablo Montoya. And the season went down to the wire, with the winner being determined at Suzuka. While Schumacher finished in a rather disappointing 8th, it was still enough to clinch his record-breaking 6th title, cementing his status as the greatest driver of his era and redefining the benchmarks of F1 greatness.
We were all around to see it then, this historic moment when Michael Schumacher became the first 6-time World Formula One champion. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the greatest achievement in the history of Formula One racing, and it's been done by this man after a very eventful Grand Prix.
Number 17, Nelson Mandela at the 1995 Rugby World Cup.
That's it. South Africa have won the World Cup, having been back in international rugby for less than 3 years.
Just a year after the end of apartheid, South Africa was still badly fractured along racial lines. But rugby, long seen as a sport of the country's white minority, became a stage for unity with the appearance of President Nelson Mandela. Wearing a Springboks jersey and cap, he presented the Webb Ellis Cup to South African captain Francois Pienaar. This gesture inspired many, signaling reconciliation between black South Africans and the historically white rugby establishment, and symbolizing a new era of shared national pride. The moment, immortalized in photographs and film, demonstrated the power of sport to bridge divides and remains one of the most enduring images of post-apartheid healing and nation building.
There it is. Francois Pienaar. And Nelson Mandela is cheering along with the whole of the stadium. A sea of flags. Wonderful moment for the whole of South Africa.
Number 16, Kirk Gibson's home run.
Sachs waiting on deck, but the game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
Kirk Gibson, a star player on the Los Angeles Dodgers, had injured both of his legs in the NLCS and was not expected to play in the World Series. But facing the dominant Oakland Athletics and their intimidating closer, Dennis Eckersley, Gibson limped to the plate in the bottom of the ninth as a pinch hitter. With the Dodgers facing 2 outs and down 4-3, Gibson worked a full count, then crushed a walk-off home run, winning the game 5-4. It was like something out of a movie. It was so beautiful. Gibson's dramatic fist-pumping trot around the bases became an instantly iconic sports image. And in 1995, one poll named this home run the greatest moment in LA sports history.
In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
Number 15, the Immaculate Reception.
5 seconds to go. He grabbed it with 5 seconds to go and scored. Let's watch this again. 1 million to 1 odds on this one.
It's rare that a play is considered both the most iconic and the most controversial in a sport's history. The Immaculate Reception is that play. It happened during the 1972 AFC divisional playoff between the Steelers and the Raiders. The Steelers trailed 7-6 with just 22 seconds left. Quarterback Terry Bradshaw threw a desperate pass toward John Fuqua, and the ball ricocheted before rookie fullback Franco Harris scooped it inches from the turf and ran it in for a touchdown. The Steelers won 13-7, marking their first ever playoff victory. The play was regarded as being highly improbable, stirred enormous controversy over whether it was legal, and launched Pittsburgh's dynasty. Both NFL Films and the NFL Network have since named it the greatest play in football history.
It's out there in the Pittsburgh airport. You've both probably seen this 1,000 times. It's in the main terminal. There's 2 huge statues. One is of George Washington. The other one is of Franco Harris. Everybody from Pittsburgh's like, oh yeah, that's normal. Let's go catch our flight.
Number 14, Phil Taylor's 2-9 dart finishes.
147 shot then for a 9-dart finish from Philip Taylor. Hold your breath. Treble 17. Double 18 for a moment of history. He did it! He did it! A 9-darter!
Darts is often considered just a pub game, but it can stir some incredible drama on the professional stage. A 9-darter is the perfect leg of darts, the rarest and most prestigious feat that a player can accomplish. Hitting one on live television is career-defining. Hitting 2 in the same match was considered unthinkable until Phil Taylor did it. Taylor accomplished this unprecedented feat in the final of the 2010 Premier League, showcasing his unmatched precision, mental strength, and sheer dominance during his peak. It instantly became one of darts' most replayed and celebrated moments, cementing Taylor's reputation as the sport's GOAT. Even years later, it stands as a benchmark of excellence and a symbol of what's possible when skill meets composure.
Double 12! Dave, let me see it! Cause I'm gobsmacked! Are you gobsmacked? Say it, Dave! You are present in a moment of the greatest sporting history, certainly in darts. 2 9-darters in one night from Phil Taylor. Tell your grandchildren about that.
Number 13, Bobby Orr's game-winning goal.
Ask 100 hockey fans, what's the most famous goal in NHL history? And 99 of them will say this.
Even if you know nothing about hockey, you've probably seen that iconic image of Bobby Orr flying through the air, his arm completely outstretched as he gapes in celebration. It's not only one of the most iconic photos in hockey, but in all of sport. Scoring just 40 seconds into overtime against the St. Louis Blues, Orr took a pass from Derek Sanderson and slipped the puck past goalie Glenn Hall, cementing Boston's first Stanley Cup in 29 years. As he scored, Orr was tripped by Blues defenseman Noel Picard, sending him completely horizontal with the ice. A moment that was captured on film by photographer Ray Lucier and immortalized in the annals of sporting history.
I can still remember the morning after, went to the hotel to have breakfast with my father, and he had the record American, and in the centerfold, they had the photo of the overtime goal flying through the air, and that's the first time I'd seen the photo.
Number 12, Leicester City wins the Premier League.
Leicester are champions. Leicester City are champions of the Premier League. The greatest story ever told has its happy ending.
Bookmakers gave Leicester City 5,000 to 1 odds of winning the 24th Premier League. Here are some of the things that were jokingly considered more likely to happen. Kim Kardashian becoming president, the Loch Ness Monster being discovered, Elvis Presley being found alive and in hiding. But with a modest budget, a relatively unknown manager, and players deemed journeyman or lower-tiered prospects, Leicester overcame England's richest and most powerful clubs to win the league. It was their first title in the team's 132-year history, and stars like Jamie Vardy, Riyad Mahrez, and N'Golo Kanté became household names. The triumph resonated far beyond England and became a global phenomenon, showing that in a sport dominated by money and elite squads, a small club could still dream.
Illogically, humbly, charmingly, life-affirmingly, gloriously. In 2016, Leicester City are the champions of England.
Number 11, Diego Maradona at the 1986 FIFA World Cup.
I go out shouting goal, and I look behind me to see whether the referee took the bait, and he had. So that was it. Come on, it was a goal.
In the 1986 FIFA World Cup quarterfinal between Argentina and England, Diego Maradona delivered two of soccer's most famous goals within mere minutes of each other. The first was the infamous Hand of God goal, which saw Maradona using his hand to punch the ball into the English net, an act of blatant illegality that went unnoticed by officials. Controversy and debate over the goal has raged for decades. And just 4 minutes later, he scored the goal of the century, dribbling from his own half past 5 English players, including goalkeeper Peter Shilton, before slotting the ball home. Together, these two goals, one embodying cunning and opportunism, the other pure genius, cemented Maradona's legend in the sport's long history.
4 minutes after his hugely controversial opener, Diego Maradona picked the ball up in midfield and, with 11 touches in 11 seconds, cemented his status as one of the game's all-time greats.
Number 10, the Miracle on Ice.
I'm sick and tired of hearing about what a great hockey team the Soviets have. Screw them! This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
When the 1980 Winter Olympics rolled around, the Soviet Union was a dominant force in hockey, having won nearly every major international tournament for 2 decades. They were composed of experienced professionals, while the American team consisted mostly of young amateur college players. But against all odds, the U.S. beat the Soviet Union 4-3 and would go on to win the gold medal. Their victory represented a triumph of underdogs over a seemingly unbeatable opponent. But beyond the athletic achievement, the game carried enormous symbolic weight amid the lingering Cold War tensions of the time. And the dramatic nature of the win, sealed by the Americans' determined defense and a famous call from Al Michaels, cemented its place in sporting history.
The puck is still loose. 11 seconds. 15 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Tomorrow. Up to goal. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
Number 9, 7-1.
It's all over now. It really is all over for Brazil. 2 for Kroos in 2 minutes.
Just say the number 7-1 and people immediately know what you're talking about. This was a surreal collapse by Brazil, who lost to Germany 7-1 in the 2014 FIFA semifinal. This is embarrassing enough on the best of days, but it was made even worse by the fact that Brazil was hosting the tournament. Germany capitalized mercilessly, scoring 5 goals in the first 29 minutes, an unprecedented feat at this level of professional soccer. For Brazilians, it was a national trauma, and clips of fans crying in the stands quickly went viral. For Germany, it was a display of ruthless efficiency, and for neutral viewers, it was one of the most entertaining, albeit most lopsided matches in the history of the sport.
They might have number 7 here now. They have got 7. It's hammered in. An absolutely terrific strike from Schumacher, who has his second in a matter of minutes. And this embarrassment for Brazil is more acute by the minute.
Number 8, England wins the 1966 World Cup.
And here comes Hurst. He's got some people are on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now.
The 1966 iteration of the World Cup remains England's only triumph in the tournament, achieved on home soil in front of 97,000 people at Wembley Stadium. The final saw England defeat West Germany 4-2 after extra time, with Geoff Hurst's famous hat trick being the only one ever in a men's World Cup final. The match produced a number of enduring moments, including Hurst's controversial crossbar goal, and symbolized a high point in English football, blending sporting achievement with national pride during the swinging 60s. The 66 English team became legends, and the victory has since been woven into the country's long sporting identity, enjoyed and celebrated for decades on end.
Geoff Hurst has got the first hat-trick of the competition. It is all over. England are the world champions. They're on the pitch now, but who cares? This is the greatest moment in the history of English football.
Number 7, Jackie Robinson breaks the color barrier.
Hey, Jackie, you think you can make it with these white boys?
I had no problems with white men in the service or at UCLA.
Yeah, what you gonna do if one of these pitchers throws at your head?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack.
I'll duck.
In 1947, Jackie Robinson joined the Brooklyn Dodgers and became the first black man to play Major League Baseball in the modern era. Despite being the nation's pastime, baseball was harshly divided at the time, with black players relegated to the Negro Leagues. Yes, that was a real thing. Dodgers executive Branch Rickey chose Robinson not only for his incredible talent, but for his courage to endure racial abuse. Robinson faced fierce hostility from fans, opposing players, and even some of his own teammates. But despite the hostility, Robinson excelled, winning Rookie of the Year and later MVP. His debut shattered the sport's color barrier, paving the way for integration in baseball and influencing the broader civil rights movement in the decades that followed.
I don't care if they like me. I didn't come here to make friends. I don't even care if they respect me. I know who I am. Got enough respect for myself.
Number 6, Tiger Woods wins the 2019 Masters.
How many people did you run into today, Nick? I know it was early, but there were so many here when we arrived at sunup who were saying, this is going to be a day of history.
Once the dominant force in golf, Tiger Woods had endured over a decade of struggles, including career-threatening back injuries, multiple surgeries, and personal scandals. Entering Augusta in 2019, Woods hadn't claimed a major title since 2008, but against a competitive field, the veteran showed why he's the GOAT and seized the lead on the final day to win his 5th green jacket.
The return to glory.
The moment was incredibly emotional, not only for Woods, but for fans who had followed his long and arduous redemption arc. And when he embraced his children after the win, it mirrored the embrace with his father after his 1997 Masters triumph, bringing his career full circle in a storybook fashion. You can't help but cry.
I never thought we'd see anything that could rival the hug with his father in 1997, but we just did.
That will be the greatest scene in golf forever.
Number 5, Lou Gehrig's farewell speech.
For the past 2 weeks, you've been reading about a bad rag. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
If you want to make your stoic father cry, just show him Lou Gehrig's farewell speech. Once a star baseball player, Gehrig was diagnosed with ALS in June 1939 when he was just 36 years old. On July 4th of that year, Gehrig addressed a sold-out Yankee Stadium in what is now called baseball's Gettysburg Address. Despite being a reserved man and not wanting to speak, Gehrig delivered a beautiful speech about resilience and was visibly emotional throughout, and the response was just as passionate, including unending cheers from the crowd and loving hugs from his teammates. It's a defining example of brotherhood and sportsmanship, and in a sport filled with head-spinning statistics, Gehrig's speech endures as a moment of incredible humanity.
When you look around, wouldn't you consider it privilege to associate yourself with such a fine-looking man as is standing in uniform in this ballpark today?
Number 4, the flu game.
3:30 this morning, Michael Jordan woke up with flu-like symptoms. He had a stomachache and a headache, and he couldn't go back to sleep. He threw up all night, and as reported earlier, he missed the shoot-around, but he was in bed all day and continued to throw up.
If you want to see the type of legendary determination that separates the great players from the GOATs, look no further than the flu game, or Game 5 of the 1997 NBA Finals between the Bulls and the Jazz. Battling severe flu-like symptoms, Michael Jordan appeared visibly weak, sweating heavily and even struggling to stand at times. But despite his dire condition, Jordan delivered an extraordinary performance, scoring 38 points and grabbing 7 rebounds to lead the Bulls to a 90-88 victory. The image of a drained Jordan leaning on Scottie Pippen became one of the most enduring photos in sports history, while the game itself came to symbolize resilience and the will to win. It all solidified Jordan's reputation as the undeniable GOAT.
He knocks down this 3, gives him the huge lead, and then the total exhaustion on the bench. Michael Jordan sucking air, got the back massage from Scottie Pippen.
Number 3, Jesse Owens at the 1936 Olympics.
The 100-meter dash is the most important event for Jesse Owens. If he can win the 100-meter dash and be proclaimed the world's fastest man, you have etched your place in sports history.
Track and field star Jesse Owens became an enduring national icon at the 1936 Berlin Olympics thanks to his extraordinary athletic achievements and the powerful historical context behind them. The games were held in Nazi Germany, where Hitler sought to showcase Aryan racial superiority. Instead, the Black Owens won 4 gold medals, shattering both world records and Hitler's Nazi propaganda. His dominance on the world stage directly challenged the racist ideologies of his day and resonated far beyond sports, coming to symbolize the fight against prejudice and oppression. But even looking on the surface as a feat of sheer athleticism, what Owens did is simply remarkable, and he is now regarded as one of the greatest track and field athletes ever.
He blows away the field. He equals the world record. He's so electric, and there's this aura around him, and people responded to it, and the crowd responded to it. As one, starting to chant his name, you can't help but be awed.
Number 2, Usain Bolt's 100 meters records.
The defending champion, one of the all-time greats, and a man who's transcended the sport of athletics, thrilling the whole world with his achievements in Beijing. 3 gold medals, 3 world records, the one and only Usain Bolt.
In the late 2000s, we witnessed what could be argued as the peak of human athleticism. Winning the 100-meter race is considered one of the crowning achievements in sports, representing the pinnacle of what is physically possible. And Usain Bolt absolutely decimated the competition. On August 16, 2008, Bolt broke his own world record at the Beijing Olympics, completing the 100-meter in 9.69 seconds. Bolt's performance made him an international star, and his name quickly became synonymous with the art of track and field. Exactly 1 year later, he broke his own record yet again, scoring a time of 9.58 seconds at the World Championships. The record has stood ever since and will likely stand well into the future.
He's done it again! A year later, rewriting the world record again!
That is the most incredible piece of sprinting the world has ever seen.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, the Thrilla in Manila.
The doctor comes up and looks at Frazier. I think it's going to be over. It's all over.
Fought in sweltering heat in the Philippines, the Thrilla in Manila was the climactic third bout between boxing legends Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. The fight pushed both men to their physical and mental limits, with Ali describing it as the closest he ever came to dying. But the fight's drama also went far beyond the ring, embodying political, cultural, and personal tensions, with Ali's loud anti-establishment persona clashing against Frazier's quiet toughness. The brutal back and forth was studiously watched around the world and ended when Frazier's corners stopped the fight after the 14th round. Now considered one of the greatest sporting events ever, the fight combined unparalleled athletic skill, fierce emotional intensity, and worldwide cultural significance. This is what sports are all about.
We're trying to get in here to talk to Ali, who has retained his title, and I think he needs a little air, because this has to have been one of the most bruising heavyweight championships of all time.
Did you see any of these live? What did you think at the time? Let us know in the comments below.
And since 1918, the Red Sox have not won a World Series.